Hey y'all, Jessica Heffley, Prosperity with Purpose podcast here. Got a quick one for you on how you can deliberately decide that something will not be stressful. I had an epiphany very recently in a coaching session where I was getting coached, and I have this was okay. This may seem like a silly story to you, but anyways, I have some epic vacations coming up because my company is epically generous for its top leaders and epically generous for everybody. But anyways, I'm going to go to Iceland for a long time. It's been a dream of mine for years and years and years and years. I had the whole thing mapped out. Been wanting to do it for a long time. Can y'all just pray that those the volcanoes can calm down a little bit and the world not get too crazy before this election? Because I'd love to go to Iceland. I'm obviously holding it loosely, but the plan is to go to Iceland, and so I've been so excited about it. But also there was some feelings of like, oh, that's a long time to be out of town. Got to figure out the house, got to figure out the dog sitter. Rob's got to figure out the gun store. I got to take care of a bunch of stuff before I leave. It'll be right before when the kids start school. Just like, anyways, we have a lot of other things going on this summer, multiple different church camps and Plexus convention. And my kids have kid life camps, family camps, basketball camps. So, anyways, we have a full summer. So I knew this was the only time in the whole summer we work was right before school started. And so I deliberately, about to spin that word, take notice, I deliberately planned this vacation at a very specific time to be the least amount of stressful to all of us as possible with a full calendar. I deliberately, very specifically, planned for it to be on those dates. Well, pivot. Another amazingly rocking vacation came up of a yacht trip to the Bahamas. Another amazing trip for our company. It had to be moved multiple times. Well, my amazing friend has invited us to go with them like multiple times. It keeps getting canceled, but then the only time that it would work is literally right before we leave for Iceland. Like, fly to the Bahamas, go on a private yacht with our two families. Again, our amazing company is providing all of this. And then fly directly to Washington, D.C., where we would then fly to Iceland. Like, I'd planned a couple days in Washington, D.C., where we can go tour the White House and the state capitol and really go to the Bible Museum. That place is awesome. Have you guys ever been there? Washington, D.C. You could spend days there. It's phenomenal. We went right before our trip to Israel a couple days ago and only got to spend a couple hours. You literally could spend days. It's amazing. I want to take my kids there so bad. Okay, so anyways, so then straight to DC, straight to Iceland for already a very long trip to Iceland, straight home. And then a few days later, the kids start school. So I was noticing, first of all, hello, amazing trips, amazing, once in a lifetime bucket trips. There's absolutely no complaining about them. I am like so grateful, so excited. But inside of me was like, oh, I'm feeling a little bit stressed. This feels like I have to pack swimsuits and winter coats in the same suitcase, and I'm going to be gone for a very long time. And I was just noticing, get out your feelings wheel, friends. Don't stuff it. Like, there's something there that needs to have some freedom. So let's explore it. And anyways, I got to talk to my coach about that. And I was telling her, like, you don't understand. Like, I'm so conflicted. Like, I'm so excited for both, but yet I'm so like stressed about it. And she was like, I said, because I had so deliberately picked those dates, so I wouldn't be stressed. And she just simply said, why can't you then deliberately decide that it won't be stressful? And it was just like, it's always the most simplest ahas that I feel like other people that are listening to this are going to be like, Jessica, you're such an idiot. That was so obvious. That's so simple. You're going on amazing trips. I'm like, it has nothing to do with amazing trips. I don't care if you judge me. What was happening inside of me, just like any other circumstance in your life where you're feeling like a little bit of stress about, is because of what's happening inside of you. Doesn't even have to do with the outside circumstances. It has to do with something in you. And so when she opened up the possibility for me that I could deliberately decide that it wouldn't be stressful, I could ahead of time deliberately decide it would be the funnest trips of my entire life. I could deliberately decide the whole month before I leave on my trip to very intentionally get work done, plan things around the house, around the dog, around the packing weeks in advance. So it was not as stressful down to the last minute. I could deliberately decide to do that to make my life less stressful. And I just felt like that was a word for somebody, for anything that you're going on in your life, or maybe your plans change, or you worked really hard to do something. It didn't turn out the way you thought. We've had multiple trips canceled. Like it's just these things come up. Okay. But you can allow yourself to grieve, process whatever is going on with you there. Don't like, that's real. Let your body feel that, all the things. Like, but this is the step most people don't do. They just keep moving until they let their feel that thing. And oftentimes when you allow yourself to actually feel that, then there's more possibilities. It's not like this is the only way that can be done. Like, oh no, I processed that. It's not like so elevated and heightened in my system anymore that I now see there's other possibilities. And one of the possibilities is I get to deliberately decide it's not going to be stressful. I get to deliberately decide ahead of time that a trip we're taking our kids on, sometimes kids can be stressful, right? Or it's not as relaxing, or it's not as relaxing as a couple and an adult only trip, right? But ahead of time, I already have deliberately decided it is going to be one of the best memories my family is ever going to make together. So it's not going to cross my mind that it's stressful, because I've already deliberately decided that this is always how it was supposed to be, and it's going to be amazing. So bless you this week in your work and in your personal life on an area where you have like, think you only have one choice. No, you get to deliberately decide what you make it mean. And I personally am deliberately deciding that it is not going to be stressful. Amen and amen. We'll see you next time.